shower, baby. Bro God again, bro God, straight up.
Alright.
Mommy tell you.
Thank you for watching Chat Jamaican. Today we're visiting Balaclava town in St. Elizabeth, Jamaica. Now we're just standing across from the Balaclava police station. Back in the days, Balaclava used to be a very important town in St. Elizabeth. This is where everyone would go to market and they would do their market shopping. They also had lively outdoor activities, outdoor market activities, and the goods were reasonable and cheap. Now, I want you to walk with me through the town for us to look and see how Balaclava now looks in the parish of St. Elizabeth, Jamaica. We have developing buildings that are being developed. And for those who know the area, probably you're saying that the area is not developed or underdeveloped, but it is a lovely community where people still travel through. Balaclava was established around the plantations of the Arscott and Sherman families in the late 18th century. So in the late 18th century, there is an estate that is nearby, and Balaclava was a part of the estate. Beautiful Jamaica flag painted on the wall. The town has developed. There are buildings, plazas, supermarkets, and they still have their outdoor market shopping. Now remember, in the 18th century, this town was developed, and also, one of the plantation style houses still remains and commands sweeping views of the Appleton Estate, rum, sugarcane fields, as well as the foothills of the Cockpit Country. Right, so Balaclava also have some nearby districts: Russell Hill, Wallingford, Oxford, and Appleton, Thornton, Silo. Those are some of the communities and districts that are nearby. So far, the town is breathtaking. It's a little town, one of the first towns that was established in St. Elizabeth. Now, depending on where you're living, you can stop in the town and get all your amenities, your necessary things that you need. So,
I just warm me wine them.
you know why you're not miss up my all. Alright. Oh, it's for YouTube.
Okay. Put me on it now. Come, see Uncle Troy.
You really want to go on it for true?
Yeah. Shower, baby. Bro God again, bro God, straight up.
Alright.
Mommy tell you.
Wow. So shower. There you have another resident supporting one of their parties, the Jamaica Labour Party. What we're looking at is the only gas station that is currently in the town. There's one on the outskirts, but this one supplies the town with gas. We have some other buildings with other business places. Look at that building. That building seems as if it is coming from the 18th century, with the way how the bottom and the top is designed. It is designed, and the wood and so on that is used to build the building. So they do have history, they do have lovely history buildings that are still standing in the community. Most of the time the market vendors would have been here, and Balaclava has lively outdoor market. Our market was built. Let me just walk down to the market area for you to see exactly where the market is. Go to the market. So this is where the market is located, but most time the vendors, they will come out on the road, on the street. Beautiful town, beautiful town. So far the scenery, the buildings, everything is looking lovely. You can go there just to do your shopping, supermarket, and if you're traveling to Mandeville, you can just get one taxi from the area, and that taxi will take you to Mandeville, as well as you can get a taxi from Mandeville. I want to also walk up to the St Luke's Anglican Church, and where the St Luke Anglican Church is, I want to share a little bit of history with you, a little bit of story about the church. So this area looks like a food joint where persons can stop and get their meal. And they have other businesses that are located in the area. So you can just stop and get whatever it is that you need to get done. Alright, so I'm on my way up to the St. Luke's Anglican Church. Balaclava supply a lot of communities. A lot of persons pass through this community. So even though it's a small town, it is very still important. It was one of the main towns in the past, and currently now it is still an important town in St. Elizabeth. Just stay with me, guys, until I get to the St. Luke Anglican Church, where I want to share a little piece of history, just a little piece with you. Now we're in the parish of St. Elizabeth in Jamaica, and Balaclava is a well-known small town where a lot of persons travel through, and you can travel through here to get to the Appleton Estate to enjoy their experience. Now look at where I'm coming from. That is the town area. So you see how quickly I walk through. So it is very small. It's a very small town. See some banana trees over there. Communities that surround this area, they are farming communities. So they'll do a lot of farming to stay afloat. Now we reached to the St. Luke's Anglican Church, and what I want to share with you, there we're looking at some of the graves, right? So in 1957 there was a Kendall Train Crash, and most of the victims that died in the Kendall Train Crash, this is where they're buried, right? So it is a historical treasure and museum. So most of the persons that died from the Kendall Train Crash in the 1957, this is where they're buried, at the famous St Luke Anglican Church. So when you come to this area, you are provided with relaxation, tranquility. If you look at the back of the church, you will see most of the graves, and most of the graves is similar to the graves that I looked at in Mile Gully at the Duppy Church. Beautiful town, beautiful area, wonderful scenery. And I do hope that you will pass through Balaclava and look at their town and their offerings. It was one of the most important towns in the past, and it now supplies a lot of communities. What I want to say to you now is thank you for watching Chat Jamaican. Lick more.